Okay, let's dive right in. We're going on a journey to the deepest known point on planet Earth. And forget climbing mountains. Today, we're descending into a realm that's honestly more alien and way less explored than the surface of the moon. So, where is this ultimate low point? Well, you're not going to find it on any continent. It's actually a deep trench at the bottom of the western Pacific Ocean, right at the southern end of the Mariana Trench. It's a place so remote, so inhospitable, it really represents one of the final frontiers for human exploration. And just how deep are we talking here? The most recent high confidence measurement puts it at 10,935 meters. That is almost 11 kilometers or nearly 7 miles straight down into the crushing total blackness of the abyss. Now, to really wrap your head around that number, just imagine this. You could take all of Mount Everest and place it at the bottom of the Challenger Deep. Its summit would still be submerged by over 2 kilometers of water. I mean, that just shows you the sheer mind-bending scale we're dealing with. It's like an inverted mountain of absolutely staggering proportions. So how on earth did we even find this incredible place? The story is pretty amazing. It doesn't begin with advanced satellites or sonar, but with a 19th century sailing ship, some really baffling winds, and a very, very long weighted rope. Picture this. It's 1875, and the crew of the HMS Challenger is just trying to get to Guam. But these unpredictable winds blow them completely off course, so they decide to take a depth sounding. To their total astonishment, their weighted rope just kept going and going and going, finally hitting bottom at over 8,000 meters, a completely accidental and totally historic discovery. You know, that first measurement was basically a shot in the dark, but it sparked a 150-year quest for precision. Over time, the technology to map this abyss evolved dramatically, and it revealed a picture that was far more complex than anyone could have imagined. So we went from a simple rope just dangling over the side of a ship back in 1875 to the first echo sounders in the 1950s that confirmed, yep, this place is extremely deep. But the real game changer? That was the multi-beam sonar used in the 80s. For the very first time, it didn't just give us a single number. It actually painted a picture of the true complex topography of the deep.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. Turns out, the Challenger Deep isn't one single V-shaped valley. It's actually a series of 3 incredibly deep pools or basins, and they're separated by slightly shallower mounds. This discovery has fueled a whole modern debate over which one of these pools is truly the absolute deepest point on the planet.
Okay, so mapping the abyss from a ship is one thing, but actually visiting this hostile environment, that is the ultimate challenge. The pressure at the bottom is over 1,000 times what it is at the surface. That's enough to crush a military tank like it was a soda can. Only a tiny, tiny handful of humans have ever made this journey, and each of these missions represents a massive leap in our ability to explore. From the pioneering, unbelievably risky first descent in the Trieste to James Cameron's incredible solo dive, and now the recent missions of the Limiting Factor, which are turning this extreme environment into a site for repeatable science. I mean, that first dive back in 1960 by Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh in the Bathyscaphe Trieste, it was just incredibly risky. It took them 5 hours to get down there, and they only spent 20 minutes on the bottom. So why so short? Well, because on the way down, a terrifying crack appeared in an outer window pane, forcing them to cut the mission short. Can you even imagine? And what they saw down there, or what they thought they saw, sparked a debate that's lasted for decades. They reported seeing a flatfish, which is something many marine biologists now believe is just impossible at that kind of pressure. The leading theory today is that they actually saw a type of sea cucumber. But that initial sighting raised this really fundamental question: what could possibly survive down there? Now, despite these historic dives, every new mission and every new, higher resolution map just reveals that our understanding of the Challenger Deep is still very much evolving. This exploration is, believe me, far from finished. So, while we still haven't found any of those flatfish, modern robotic and crewed missions have absolutely confirmed that life does exist, even here. And it's astounding. We found these shrimp-like crustaceans called amphipods, ghostly sea cucumbers, and various bristleworms, all of them uniquely adapted to a world of total darkness and immense, crushing pressure.
What's pretty incredible is that even with our most advanced sonar, pinpointing the single deepest spot is a huge challenge. The extreme pressure and cold can literally bend sound waves, which makes getting precise measurements across such a vast area really, really difficult. This whole debate just highlights that this is still an active frontier of science, not some settled fact from a textbook.
So think about it. We've gone from a rope over the side of a ship to repeatable, crewed missions. We have the technology to actually visit the bottom of our world. And yet, we've still explored less of this region than we have the surface of Mars. Which leaves us with a final, pretty fascinating question. What other secrets, what other life forms are still hidden in its darkness?